What is up? Today's project is a Ferrari 488 Challenge Series front bumper and lower lip. This front bumper is completely carbon and is pretty much just straight out of the mold. So first thing we do, there are sections of this bumper that are going to remain bare carbon. So these sections are going to be taped off by some paper and 3/4 inch tape. The rest of the bumper will be primed, sealed, and then painted a gloss black. Usually we go over all of our paint edges with blue fine line, but because this is a race car, we are just leaving it at the 3/4 inch yellow tape. I do put a second layer before my primer so that I can peel that layer off, leaving just a little bit of bare exposed carbon to ensure that there's not a huge product buildup of primer before we go to do our final paint line. After everything's taped up, go ahead and start prepping the substrate with 320 grit. Carbon fiber is extremely rigid, so you're going to go through a lot of sandpaper on this. That's also why we use a 320. The primer we're spraying on there is going to be a spray polyester, which is also known as a spray bondo or spray filler. It basically requires the same surface preparation as a body filler. Carbon fiber is super porous, so we've found that the best way to fill in all of the gaps in the weave from the mold is to use the spray polyester. I go over all of the main surface areas with a DA, and then I follow up by hand all the corners and crevices and all the hard to reach spots, which leave your hands feeling super wonderful at the end of the day. If you know, you know. The product we're using is made by Spies Hecker, and it's extremely thick. So you're going to want to shake it for at least 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that the viscosity is perfect and all the solids have been mixed in thoroughly. After we wipe everything down with a solvent pre-cleaner, we're going to go ahead and load this stuff up. This is not a multiple coat application. This is a fill until the pinholes are gone type of situation, while still trying to maintain a uniform surface. We also had a repaired lower lip for the same car in the background there. That one had been repaired before, so it is pretty rough, but we try to salvage these parts the best we can, because I think that bumper cost about $24,000 and the lower lips cost, I think, $6,000 or something like that. So saving parts is always a good thing. Okay, now after that dries, you're going to go back into it with either 320 or 500. Either one will work. I'm using 320 because I will go over this with a sealer. This product has to be sealed. There's no you don't get to skip that step. That's like spraying base coat over Bondo. It doesn't work. You have to seal this if you're not going to use some other type of high build primer. This stuff sands super easy though. It sands extremely well. So after our sealer there, you can see we're going in with the single stage gloss black, making sure we get the appropriate flash time between those coats. Always check your data sheets. This is right after I finished spraying, before I baked it. Typically, when your paint is always going to look its best, right after you spray it. When you bake it, you're going to see how well you followed your data sheet. Because if you didn't give enough flash time, you're going to see some pinching or dieback, possibly solvent pop. That's when everything tends to come out. It's after you bake it. Now, while this is a race car bumper, we still strive for perfection. Or I do anyways. I always try to do the best I can no matter what. And I'm really happy with how this came out. You want everything you do to look like it could be on the showroom floor. So after we bake it, we go ahead and unmask all the bare carbon areas. Make sure you have no edges or any buildup or anything like that. You want to take care of all those. Then once you unmask it, you can bring it out into the sun and check for a final. And here we have everything unmasked, baked, ready to go. Gotta love that bare carbon look. Love the two-tone. And that's pretty much it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, I know this was a little bit of an abbreviated video, but always feel free to ask. See you in the next one.